One.
So what is going on, everybody? Thank you guys for coming here today, spending your Saturday afternoon with us. We're very delighted to have you guys here. Welcome to our Vulcan open house. Usually we would do this in person, but COVID, so we are doing it via Zoom. Today we're just going to talk about, we have a little presentation for you guys, then we're going to do some Q&A and show you guys a little bit of our robot. So let's just hop right into it. So who are we? So we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization team. And we're actually going to go through our names here. So I'm Michael. This is going to be my third year on the team, and I am co-captain.
Hi, everyone. My name is Heather. This will also be my third year on the team. And with Michael, I will be co-captain.
Hi, I'm Nico. This will be also my third year on the team, and I am programming lead.
Hi, my name is Dylan, and this is going to be my second year on the team.
Hi, everyone. My name's Matthew, and this is going to be my second year on the team.
Hi, I'm Caroline, and this will be my second year on the team.
So that's our team.
Very nice. Do you want to talk about how
Um,
we're a 100%?
So unlike most FTC teams, we are 100% corporate sponsored, and we were founded in 2014, and we compete in the First Tech Challenge, which is like a league.
So this is a couple of our team values. So like Anna said before, we're completely student run. So our team started off part of a school team. So we had our founding members were part of a school team, but what they realized was under a school team, the mentors were doing everything. They themselves really had no power to do anything, express their ideas, really work on the robot. So instead what they did was they separated themselves from the school team and formed Vulcan Robotics with the idea that it would be students completely doing everything, and no mentors to overpower them. So as a result, Vulcan Robotics has no teacher or mentor. We figure things out by ourselves and we do everything by ourselves. So that goes from our business model, our 501c3, our outreach, our engineering, our robotics, everything. We're a community team, so that means that everyone comes from different schools, so we're not all based on one school. We currently have team members from three different schools, San Mateo, Aragon, and DTech. And as a team, we really focus on using the iterative design process. So there's always things to improve. We're constantly trying to improve our designs. So you'll experience something called Robot in 3 days, where right when kickoff starts, right when the game is released, we try to build a robot in 3 days. And from there, we just continuously improve our designs. So that's the iterative design process. And lastly, our design process is focused on simplicity. So we're trying to make sure that our robot is built as simply as possible, trying not to overcomplicate anything, because overcomplicating things just create more error. And that's a picture of us at NorCal, right? NorCal this year?
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, so what is robotics? Okay, so robotics is a branch of technology that deals with design, construction, operation, and application of machines controlled by computers. So when you join Vulcan Robotics, you'll be exposed to the 3 different aspects of robotics, which are mechanical, electrical, and programming.
Okay, so what is FIRST? FIRST is an organization that promotes robotics in youth where teams are challenged to design, build, program, and operate robots to play a floor game in an alliance format. FIRST values gracious professionalism, which encourages high-quality work, and also emphasizes the value of others while also respecting individuals and the community. FIRST also values cooperation, which means when you're competing, you also are assisting and enabling others when you can.
Okay, so what is FTC? So FTC is part of the series of FIRST robotics competitions. It's the high school level, so grades 7 through 12. And it consists of a game that changes every year, where your robot completes various tasks to score the most amount of points as possible. And this year's past challenge was Skystone.
All right, so there's 3 different levels of competition within FTC. We start the season after our initial robot build is done at qualifying tournaments, where we play against other robots, and these usually consist of somewhere around 15 to 30 teams. If we do well there, we go to regional competition for our Northern California region, which is all of the winners from qualifiers. That consists of about 50 to 60 teams in the case of our region. And then those who do well there go to the World Championships, which consists of all the regional winners, about 160 teams from all around the world. And the winner there is the first champion for the year.
So here's a brief history of our team. We started off in 2014, so this was the year where we separated from the school team and our founding members decided to found Vulcan Robotics. So this year we did okay. We reached NorCal. It was our first year, so pretty impressive. The next year, our second year, 2015, we did really well. Not only did we make it to NorCal, we made it to Worlds, and at Worlds, we were the finalist alliance captain. So what this means is we were basically the captain of the second place team. And next year's Velocity Vortex, once again, we made it to NorCal, and we got third Motivate Award. And so our fourth year, 2017, 2018, was Relic Recovery, doing pretty well again, making it to NorCal. And then also making it to World Championships. So that was our second year at Worlds. And last year, or 2018 and 2019, was Rover Ruckus, once again, making it to NorCal. But on the way to NorCal, doing fairly well at qualifying tournaments as well. We were winning Alliance captain, so we were the captain of the winning team at the Napa qualifier. We also won the Inspire Award, which is like the overall, most well-rounded team. You're inspiring other teams. And so this year, Skystone, once again, doing really well at qualifying tournaments. We won the Think Award, which is an award for like having a really well-documented notebook. We were able to, once again, win winning Alliance captain, so captain of the winning team, second Inspire, finalist Alliance at the Napa qualifier, allowing us to make it to the regional competition where we won second Think. So pretty good year and pretty good team history. And over here is just a couple of pictures of our robots. So up there we have our 2018 Relic Recovery. No. Yes, 2018 Relic Recovery. And then this one down here is our Rover Ruckus.
Okay, so this season will consist of kickoff in September this year and Google qualifier in December. And for February next year, we have a Napa qualifier and a NorCal Regional Championship in March and the Houston World Championship in April, if we make it that far.
So we're just going to show you a little clip of one of our past robots, just so you guys can kind of get an idea of what our robots kind of look like. They usually consist of a drivetrain, some form of that, and a lift, intake, and hopper. So that's just kind of the general like sizing kind of thing. That's the drivetrain. That's what usually our intake for that year looked like. Pretty cool stuff, pretty fun, and yeah.
This is our rescue robot. So this was 2 years ago. No, sorry. This was our this was like our second year. This was the year when we were the Finance Alliance captain at Houston.
All right, so now we're going to show a quick video clip of last year's robot in action. You can see it on the right. We're working on the red side, our drive team over there as well in red. We are in our robot. You can see there's these yellow bricks on the field. These are the stones. So our robot grabs them using the intake on the front of the robot, which is currently facing us, and lifts them up with a lift if they don't knock them over. You can see there it intakes it, lift pops up and it grabs it, and then it lifts it up and puts it onto the stack. Rinse and repeat until you get really tall.
All right, so there are different parts of mechanical. One part is designing the robot, and to design the robot, we CAD the robot on Autodesk Fusion 360, and on Autodesk Fusion 360, we're able to design complex systems and test the robot in field geometry.
Okay, so another part of mechanical is building the robot. When building the robot, we get hands-on experience working with kit parts from Actobotics and also custom parts. And we also learn how to efficiently and safely operate power tools such as the bandsaw.
So after we design our designs in CAD or whatever we choose to design it in, then we can actually bring it to life and make what we designed in real life. And this is actually a really fun process, and it's really cool and inspiring to see something on a screen become in your hands.
And the other parts of robotics, apart from mechanical that make the robot actually move, are our programming and our electrical. So our robot is controlled by 2 Android smartphones that are using a peer-to-peer connection. That's programmed in Java. The Rev electronics parts are kit electronics that make it really easy to interface with all the motors, servos, and sensors. And with this electrical on the team, you can learn things like cutting, stripping, soldering, and crimping wires, which are all skills that are important for robotics.
All right, so FTC also has an outreach portion, and outreach basically allows us to bring robotics and FTC to our community. So we've had many outreach programs. We currently mentor FLL teams at Baywood Elementary School. We've also hosted a lot of STEM events at like SM Hacks, Maggiomatics, and Design Day at San Mateo High. We volunteered at the Kids Smart Academy Summer Camp, and we've held workshops and presentations at the San Mateo, Foster City, and Fremont Library. We've also participated at the Maker Faire FT sequel, and we have a large social media presence in our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc.
All right. So the way we fund our robotics team is getting corporate sponsored. We're a nonprofit organization, so what we do is we go out and we reach out to companies, and in exchange for us marketing their logo on our robot and on our shirts that we're wearing, Michael was showing earlier, and on our social media, we get financial support from them, and this lets us run our team where the members of the team don't have to pay anything. It's all covered by our sponsors.
So during COVID-19, it's obviously really difficult for the community. It's also really difficult for us to meet in person. So usually like we would meet in person and we would work on designing robots, planning for off season. But since now we are forced to meet virtually, so what are we doing? Using this opportunity, we're getting more involved in our community. So right now we're part of this organization called the Western Region Robotics Forum. And what they do is basically they organize these huge FRC and now working on FTC workshops. And it's a great way to work with other like big teams in the community and big names in the FTC world. And we're also part of we founded this quarantine classroom summer program and also teaching in this program, allowing us to reach more in our smaller community. And what this program does is basically help students, younger students who don't have any teaching opportunities during COVID, and having high schoolers tutor them in multiple subjects that they need. And besides getting more involved in the community, we are still keeping our consistent meetings. So we meet every week, just like we usually do, but just a little bit less hours. So it's not 6 to 9 hours anymore. It's more like 2 to 4 hours every week. But during these meetings, what we do is we practice CADing together. We learn programming algorithms together. Our programming lead tries to teach us something, and then together we work on something together. We also tried this really fun activity where we looked at past seasons and their games and tried through teamwork and mechanical design a robot similar to how we would design a robot in our Robot in 3 days. So if you're interested, or if you know anyone interested, please reach out and apply. We're looking for members who are rising 7th graders to rising 12th graders. And if you're interested in applying, you can go to tinyurl.com/Vulcan Robotics App 2020, or go to our website, vulcanrobotics.org. Our application right now, the due date is July 1st at 11:59 p.m., but this might be subject to change. We might move it a little bit earlier due to COVID so we can prepare for next year's season. So watch out for those emails. By earlier, it'll probably be like end of June. So not too much of a difference. So thank you for joining us today. Here are our social media links and ways that you can reach out to us if you have any more questions. And right now we'll be doing a Q&A session. If you have any questions right now, please type them in the chat, or you can raise your hand and unmute yourself. Okay, wait, Anna says this was a robot that was finalist. Oh yeah, the robot video that we showed was when we were the captain of the 2nd place team in the entire world. So very impressive. Okay, and Harry says, yeah, go ahead. Where do the meetings happen?
So meetings happen usually in someone's garage. Last year it was Leon's garage, and this year we are moving into Heather's garage. So it just kind of happens at someone's garage where we use the tools that we have. Yeah.
So it's in Foster City. My garage is in Foster City. So if you live in Foster City, it's a really easy commute. If you live in San Mateo, it's not that bad of a commute either. When are the Neo asks, when are the application selections going to happen?
Shortly after our applications are due, whenever that may happen, we're going to contact everyone who applied, and we're going to set up an interview with you. So going to get on a video call, usually via Google Hangouts, and ask you some questions, and then that'll give us more information. And once we're done with those interviews, we'll send out emails to everyone about whether they were accepted or not.
Yes, so you'll know when you get accepted within like a week after your interview. And after you get accepted, then we start training you and teaching you about the basics and trying to integrate you into the team. All right, any more questions? Feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand and then unmute yourself. If you have any questions about the robot as well, we can talk about the robot a little bit. If everybody can go to participants. Yeah, so if everybody can go to participants, and there's a participant named Robot. If everybody could go to that, we have a very nice little Zoom call for a robot.
Yeah, and battery on the camera is low, so it might go away soon, but we'll see.
That's okay. I don't know. How about Nico? Do you want to explain some aspects of the robot since you're with it?
Yeah, okay. So this is our robot. Here's our robot from the Skystone season. And you see from the video, you saw our intake here on the front. These spin, these 2 sets of wheels here, some belts. These will intake some stone. And then there's all of this craziness up here. This is our big lift. I'm gonna move the robot all the way around here. This is our big lift. These slides come up very high. And then here, I'm just gonna put this in frame here. And this also comes out. You see I'll have our little claw here that would hold the stone. And this would come all the way out. Drop the stone on the pile. And then it can also just those are pretty much the main aspects of our robot. Those are the two main subsystems, I guess. Everything else is very internal. You can see all those in there. A lot of time goes into electrical and getting all the wires managed so nothing gets caught in motors or different parts of the robot. Because there's a lot of moving parts, so it's really important to make sure that your design is as fail-proof as possible.
So Nico, I'm gonna interrupt you here for a second. We do have another question from Neo. What kind of things can you do to improve your skills outside of team meetings?
That's a great question. Oh, okay. So really, so in the very beginning, what we do is we help train you first. So we have a newbie training guide. So if you read that and you finish reading that, you're already doing so much. And then so after you read the newbie training guide, what you can do is there's a ton of video references online, but besides that, you can always reach out to specific members of the team. Like, we really rely on each other. So if you want to improve your skills, really reach out to a specific lead. So say you really want to learn and improve your programming, Nico is the person to reach out. He's an amazing programmer. He's our programming lead. So reaching out to other people. And then Nico also has a ton of great online resources. So using those online resources plus each other, you can improve your skills a lot.
Yeah, 100%.
And Annie
we've got
Go ahead,
a
Nico.
question from Annie. Does the amount of time you have to spend on robotics impact your schoolwork, or does it help? I would say it does not hurt your schoolwork. Just because we meet on the weekends, we're very strictly meeting on the weekends. We never really meet after school unless we're right before a competition. We have a lot of work to do. And even then, I would say it's pretty easy to find the time to do your schoolwork. The robotics commitment, it is a commitment. It does take a lot of time, but it helps you kind of improve your work ethic in general, I would say. It's overall not an issue being on a robotics team and having to do school, depending on what your other extracurriculars are.
Yes.
Yeah, we expect like a huge commitment from you. It's like 6 hours per week. So 3 hours on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday. But those 3 hours, it's really flexible. So what we use is we use this app called Doodle. And what we do is we make sure we have everybody list out their availabilities, and we choose a chunk of 3 hours that work for everyone. So every week our schedule isn't the same, really flexible. So if you are busy, we can adjust you. It's just that we hope that you're not super busy, because robotics, again, it's a big commitment. You're expected to do things outside of meetings as well. Like, everyone here does a little bit of outreach. Everyone here has recorded at like a big chunk of the engineering notebook. It's a big commitment, but if you do have things that conflict, we get it, and we're flexible because everyone here is busy and they have lives outside of robotics.
100%.
Yeah, and just to add on to what Nico and Heather said, all our meetings are usually on the weekends, so it's like not during a weekday when there's school. So
yeah,
I don't personally have any conflicts between school.
All right.
All right. Do you have any more questions from the people?
Maybe Matthew, would you like to discuss about how competitions look like? Like, when you're at a competition, what does it look like?
Okay, so when you get to the competition, you first start with inspection. Basically, the judges inspect your robot if it fits the sizing limits and if it follows all the rules. And then we move on to the matches. Every team does 5 matches with an alliance partner and a opposing alliance. And afterwards, there's finals to semifinals, where the top 4 teams in the 5 matches get to choose 2 alliance partners where they can compete in the finals and semifinals. And if you win the whole thing, you're the winning alliance. And we have been the winning alliance captains before, which basically means we were in the top 4 and picked our team, and we made it to the finals and won. And afterwards, we have the award ceremony where, we are awarded awards such as Motivate and Inspire and Think. That's about it.
And I think personally, when it's competition day, it's so like thrilling. It's like a lot of stress, but it's also really thrilling. Like it feels like you're in a separate world. Like on that day, the only thing that really matters is robotics. Like you completely forget everything, and when you go back to school the next day, like really robotics is still on your mind. So it's really a really unique kind of setting. It's really exciting, and there's different groups. Like everyone is so busy during competition, but it's so fun. So there's like 2 main groups really. There's like 3 main groups. One main group is the drive team. So those are the people that are on the field and they're driving the robot. And so obviously that's really important. That's usually like 3 people, 2 people driving the robot and 1 person that's a coach, which basically like they coach the team, letting them know like how much time is left. And then the second group is we have like the scouting group. So the scouting group, what you do is you scout other teams. So we scout like how well they're doing during the competition, and come time when we do really well and we're like an alliance captain, when we have to choose other teams to be on our alliance, we use that scouting information to choose our team, to pick the best team. So a lot of the times, really good teams won't rank really high, and using your scouting information, you can figure out the system and then get a really strong team. And then the last group or like person is the pit monkey. So the pit monkey basically stays in the pits where all the robots are, or where all the like the tents are. And what they do is they are the one that like focuses on communicating with the judges. So what they can't see with our robot, the pit monkey has the job of expressing to the judges. So all our outreach, all our like team values and all of those things, it's the pit monkey's job to express those things. Neil asks, when does the season start? I think I missed it in the presentation.
I just pulled up the calendar, and for this year, as specific as First has gotten, is that kickoff, which is the start of our build season and when things really ramp up, is sometime in early September. The competition season lasting all the way through the World Championships in April.
So kickoff is when you know what the game is, and then you can start with what we call robot in 3 days. You just start with building. Robot in 3 days is when we try to build, like we get all of our main ideas, our initial ideas on paper, on a robot in 3 days, just to like get those wheels spinning. But I mean, really, like the season is always kind of going on. Like there's off season, which is before kickoff. We're still planning, we're still reaching out to outreach groups. We're still learning ourselves. Sometimes, like if it weren't for COVID, we'd build like a mini robot. So like the season starts in September, but that doesn't mean that beforehand we're doing nothing. We're constantly working. All right. Doesn't look like we have any more questions. Does anyone else have anything else to add? Nope.
I think
All right.
we're pretty much good here.
Yeah.
All right then. I guess thank you everyone for coming in today, spending your Saturday afternoon with us. We're really looking forward to read everyone's applications, and we've already gotten a couple of applications. We're really excited to meet you in person. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I guess that's
just make sure to blast out to anyone who's interested, anyone you know who might be interested. Make sure that you send them the application info so that we can get enough applicants.
Yeah, and if they're interested and they couldn't make the open house today, this was recorded, so it should be up on our website, I think, right?
And YouTube,
Yeah.
probably.
We'll be putting it, yeah, we'll be putting it on our YouTube account, and then we'll send, if you RSVP'd, we'll send it to you, so you can send it out, or you can watch it again if you have any more questions. And if you didn't RSVP, you can feel free to type us an email at, what is our email again? Vulcan Robotics team at gmail.com. Right, yeah,
Yep.
Vulcan Robotics team at gmail.com. I'll type it in the chat here. And you can also go to our website. If you have any more questions, contact us there as well.
Cool.
Cool.
That wraps it up.